Now tuning in to the story of Earth Angel by iCreateStories.com, narrated and created by Dala. 5 years have passed now, and it is 1851, and the air in Kingston, Jamaica was thick with a sticky heat. A 12-year-old girl named Sarah stood in her nana's kitchen, her back turned as she carefully measured out various herbs for a medicine. She hummed softly to herself as she worked, her long dark hair falling in loose waves down her back. Quickly turning around, Sarah walked out of the kitchen holding a small jar filled with bright green liquid. She entered the sitting area where her nana sat coughing, her body hunched over in discomfort. She approached her nana with the jar of herbs, a look of determination on her face. "Here, Nana, I made this. It will make you feel much better," she declared proudly. Her nana looked up at her with a weak smile. "Sarah, what is this?" No, thank you, baby." "Please, Nana, try it. You are sick and you need something to help you," pleaded Sarah. Sarah's nana hesitated for a moment before finally taking the mixture and making a disgusted face. "Here, Nana, drink some juice with it," said Sarah, handing her a cup from the table next to her. As her nana drank the juice and rested her eyes, Sarah grabbed some oil off the table and began gently oiling Nana's locks while humming an old tune that always seemed to comfort her. Slowly but surely, a smile spread across her nana's face. "I'll be back to check on you later, Nana," said Sarah as she walked out of the room towards the kitchen. Moments later, Sarah's nana got up from her chair and headed towards the kitchen to look for Sarah. She noticed all sorts of herbs and jars of medicine on the counter and curiously examined them. "Sarah, where are you?" called out her nana. "I feel better now." Sarah's nana looked out the kitchen window and saw Sarah standing out back with a few birds surrounding her. One of them even landed gently on her shoulder. Her nana stared in disbelief before quickly making her way back to her seat in the sitting area, waiting for Sarah to come back inside. When Sarah finally did return, her nana couldn't help but gush over how much better she felt after taking that medicine. "That stuff you gave me really worked, Sarah," she explained happily. Sarah grinned in response. "Good, Nana. I'll be back," she said as she turned to leave. "Wait, Sarah." "Yes, Nana?" responded Sarah, turning back to face her nana. "Sit down for a minute," requested her nana. Sarah took a seat in another chair next to her. "Listen, baby, there's something about you that's different, and it has been since you were younger," began her nana. "Is there anything you want to talk to me about, Sarah?" "Well, Nana, I know there's something different about me. I can do things. Things that are really..." Sarah trailed off, looking at her nana with uncertain eyes. "It's okay, baby. You can talk to me," reassured her nana gently. "I can feel when someone is sick, sad, or really happy," confessed Sarah. "And I can make things better." "Tell me, how do you do it, Sarah?" asked her nana. "I'm not sure exactly. I just pay close attention to something and I can understand the feelings," explained Sarah as she looked over at a table with a dying plant. She walked over and placed her hand on it, causing it to suddenly come back to life. Sarah's nana looked on in awe, a smile spreading across her face. "I always knew you were special since you were a baby, Sarah. Wow." Nana, I hope people don't think I'm crazy," said Sarah, looking worried. "You are no way crazy, baby. You are so special, very special," assured her nana. "But I don't think it's wise for you to tell anybody about your gifts that God has given you. Some people can't handle someone special like you, baby." Sarah's nana stood up, moved closer to her, gently taking her hands in hers. Please, Sarah, keep your gifts a secret. It's for your own safety." Sarah met her nana's gaze and nodded, understanding the seriousness of the situation. "I promise, Nana," she said. Promise me that you will always be careful. The world can be unkind sometimes. Anana's word carried a hint of worry. I promise. Anana smiled at her with pride. You remind me so much of your mother. She was a wonderful nurse, too. Sarah felt a warm glow on her chest. That's why I want to be a nurse, too, just like Mommy. You have the potential to not only be an amazing nurse, but to achieve even greater things, Nana responded fondly. Sarah took a moment to consider this before hugging her grandmother tightly. Thank you for always believing in me, Nana. Nana hugged her back before they left the room together, ready to face whatever challenges came their way with strength and determination. As the years passed, Sarah blossomed into a compassionate and intelligent woman with extraordinary gifts. Her touch could soothe even the deepest pain, and her words carried a weight of healing power that only she seemed to possess. Despite her remarkable talents, Sarah remained humble and never strayed far from home. She dedicated most of her time to caring for her beloved Nana, mastering her magical gifts, learning ancient techniques to heal and nurture living beings. Her shelves were lined with jars full of vibrant herbs and roots, each one carefully selected and expertly prepared to combat different illnesses or maintain good health. Apart from her skill in the field of healing, Sarah also had a knack for cooking traditional Jamaican cuisine that quickly became a hit among her circle of friends and neighbors. The enticing smells of herbs and meats filled the air, beckoning people towards her home. Those who were familiar with Sarah knew they could count on her for a delicious meal or for assistance with any elements. Despite the temptation to share her magical abilities with the world, Sarah kept her promise and guarded her powers closely. She knew that they must be used wisely and responsibly, for the greater good and not for personal gain. And so, she remained a gentle force of nature within her small community, bringing comfort and nurturement to all who crossed her path. As the year 1859 draws to a close, 20-year-old Sarah stepped out onto the front porch of her home on the island. The sun was setting, casting an orange glow over the land. She then noticed a white man approaching in uniform. His head hung low as he walked with slow, labored steps. He was a young British soldier stationed on the island. He finally reached the porch and looked up at her, desperation etched across his face. "Hi. I was told I could find a nurse named Mary Cole here," he asked. Sarah dropped her brow in confusion. Mary Cole? There's no Mary Cole here. The soldier's shoulders slumped in defeat. "Do you know where I can find her? I was told she could help me." He clutches his stomach and appears sickly. "I haven't been feeling well, and no doctor seems to be able to help," he continued, his voice full of frustration. "They're all too busy." Sarah shakes her head sadly. "Mary Cole passed away years ago," she said softly. "I'm her daughter." "Oh!" The soldier coughs and looks even more ill than before. "I'm sorry to hear that, and sorry to bother you," he mumbles before turning to walk away. Sarah pauses for a moment before calling out to him. "Wait, I can help you if you need." He turns back towards her, hope flickering in his eyes. "Are you a nurse?" he asks. "No, not yet," Sarah admits, "but I know how to treat people." "I don't know." The soldier trails off, clearly unsure. "Listen," says Sarah gently, "you might not make it in your condition. Let me help you. I promise you'll get better." After a brief pause, she adds, "Come on, I have a waiting room, supplies, and warm food in the oven." The soldier, who introduced himself as Adam and explained that he was stationed at Fort Myers, agreed and wearily made his way up the porch steps. He made his way inside and sank into the chair in the waiting room, while Sarah quickly prepared a glass of liquid herbs. "Here," she said, handing him the glass. "I need you to drink all of this." She pressed her hand against his forehead. "You're feverish. I'll wait until you're done, and let's see if your fever goes down." As he began to drink the herbal remedy, Adam paused and asked, "What is this?" It's got a spicy taste to it, but not bad. Sarah smiled. Oh, that's just a touch of cinnamon and ginger to give it some nice flavoring. Suddenly, Sarah's grandma entered the waiting room. Oh, hi, Nana, Sarah greeted her. This is Adam. He's feeling sick and needs some help. Adam politely introduced himself and where he was stationed. As they chatted, Sarah couldn't help but worry about what Adam said, that there were others who had fallen ill and might not survive. She looked at Adam with concern before turning to her grandmother for an explanation. There's not enough help or medicine to fix the problem, Adam explained. That's why I sought out Miss Cole. I heard from the locals that she was the best around. Well, I see her daughter is now. Thank you for the compliment, Sarah said gratefully. Adam, you're welcome to stay here until the morning. You should be feeling better by then. Adam thanked her before reclining back in the chair. Sarah walked out of the room with her grandmother, deep in thought about how she can use her knowledge and skills to help those in need on the island. The next day, Sarah woke early and busied herself in the kitchen, preparing a delicious breakfast for Nana and Adam. The aroma of freshly baked coconut bread and fruity tea filled the air, drawing Adam towards the kitchen with a growling stomach. Adam couldn't help but comment on the enticing smell, hinting Sarah to invite him to sit down and enjoy her famous treats. As they ate, Sarah's Nana sat at the table as well, observing the friendly exchange between the two young adults. You have an amazing granddaughter. She really healed me, and I'm so grateful, Adam said, staring across the table, looking and feeling like a new man. After finishing their meal, Adam expressed his enjoyment of the food and asked if he could have another piece to take with him. Sarah's Nana inquired about his departure time and was surprised to hear that he had to be back at headquarters by 0800. Sarah quickly chimed in that she was ready to go as well, causing her Nana to become visibly concerned. Aware of her grandmother's disapproval, Sarah calmly explained that she was going to the army base to help those who were sick. Her Nana cautioned her against such a dangerous task, questioning whether she was ready and if she would even be allowed to go. But Sarah remained determined and reassured both her Nana and Adam that everything would be fine. She gathered her bag and bid farewell with hugs and kisses to her worried Nana before heading out the door. Before leaving, Adam expressed his surprise at Sarah's decision and reminded her that not everyone would appreciate her skills like he did. But Sarah remained steadfast in her desire to help those in need, regardless of race or any potential challenges. Adam smiled at Sarah's determination and thanked her grandmother for her kindness before leaving. As they said their goodbyes, Sarah's Nana couldn't help but pray and tear up for her safety as she watched them walk away. Thank you for listening to The Story Earth Angel by iCreateStories.com. I appreciate your time, and if you enjoyed this story, please like. Also, think about subscribing to the Storytelling Podcast